with a new life, a new mission reborn, with a new vision. What may come, I don't know yet, but I am here alive, living my life to the fullest, with new love in my heart and soul, a gift to have, a gift to give, a new life of love reborn. I'm like an ice skater dancing out for the first time on the form solid ice. No more fears, no sorrows, because I love the coming tomorrows. This life has barely begun, but now I know what I wanna do. I know what I wanna be, reborn. Finally feeling I am fulfilling my destiny, with a heart filled of gratefulness, happiness, joy, overflowing of kindness and love. Oh, so much love. I feel like love is the supportive pillar in my soul, and it only grows each day. I'm reborn in love.
It's playing again. I think once is more than enough. And of course, the dogs are starting to bark. So hold your horses. Okay, let me come back to me and say hello. I think someone's knocking at my door. Can you guys hold on a sec? Sorry. So sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Hello, Miss Brazy. Thank you for being here on this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What the heck day is it? My neighbor came home with some groceries, and so the dogs think that it's, time for them to socialize and say hello and welcome them home as well. So I'm going to give people a few minutes to pop in. And thank you. So that song, Braze, I had started to write a song a while ago, and then DJ Nico took it and ran with it. And he did such a nice job. And there is a video, but for some reason, I'm having difficulty uploading it. And so Misha is going to help me, but it's, just coordinating time and getting people together. And she sort of changed a little bit of the music just to soften it, I guess. And it's lovely. So it really speaks to my story, right? Having that heart attack in 2019, being dead for 15 minutes, or really 14 minutes. I'm exaggerating by one. And then just, being reborn, what happened. And I will say that for those in the replay, there are days where I'm like, when there are lots of challenges that I'm experiencing, some self-induced and some environmental and energetic and financial, that I just feel like, why the hell did I come back? And the inner answer is really, I have so much more to do. And this YouTube channel is just the start of what I think is ahead of me and the challenges that I experience. And today was one of those days where I was just very frustrated and disheartened and, kind of felt like, why is the world picking on me? And then I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity for me. It's a chance for me to just step back and say, okay, what's in your control? And that leads me to the let them theory. So, we've talked last Thursday when we kicked off the book club, or the week before. Geez, now I don't even know how many weeks we've been doing. No, this is the second one. The let them theory is not an excuse to not participate in life. And when things happen that are outside of your control, it's how you, the human, respond to it. And Mel is the first one to say that's not easy. There's nothing simple about saying, let them. Let that person be a jerk. Let that situation happen. Because at least for me, my initial instinct is, but I know the answer. Pick me. I can tell you what to do. And I think that's one of the frustrating things is I can't control that situation. I may think I know the right way to proceed, but I'm not walking a mile in that person's shoes, and I don't know what their thought process is. And so as we talk today about chapters 4 and 5, because last week we did 1, 2, and 3 at a high level. And that's really what I want to touch on, because if you're reading the book, then you're going to get it. If you're not reading the book and you're just listening in now to me, I may read a sentence or two from the book, but I think it's more impactful. Hello, Big Dad Standing Tall. Thanks for being here. We're just getting started, so namaste to you. I do see the divine in you. And so what in these 2 chapters today, so it's chapter 4 is let them stress you out, which I'm not good at, just so everyone knows very clearly. I am not good at that. And then the other one was, hold on, I had it marked and then I jumped up to get the dogs and I made a poor decision and dropped the book. Fearing other people's opinions. So, just a question to you guys, and maybe what I'll do in the future is put a poll out, but how do you define control in your relationships? Right? So have you ever felt the need to manage someone else's choices and actions? And in doing so, how did it affect you? So just mull that over for a second. And if you're not comfortable answering, that's quite all right. I'm going to dive into it anyway. But I think, there's a lot to be said. I'm going to talk about in the next coming months, the order of birth. So when you're the eldest, the middle children you have, and then the baby, and how each responds to the situation. So girl freak eldest, yes, I want to manage someone else's choices or actions because I think I know better. But what does it really do for me? Nothing. It gives me a false sense of control, of acknowledgement, of validation that, oh my God, I'm worthy. I have something to say and I know the answer. Pick me. And so that's part of, how we respond. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then what do you think letting go means to you? So can you think of any time when releasing that control, letting it go, led to a positive outcome? Did you have more peace? So, excuse me. One of the things that I think um, when I talk about this or when I think about this um, is, well, control in a relationship. It could be that I want to protect someone. Hey, Josh, welcome in, welcome in. But it can lead to tension, right? Because and I don't want to take too many stories from my life because I haven't gotten permission from those people that I would have done this to. But let's just say that it's somebody within my family and I knew exactly what they needed to do. I, I saw it, I understood the situation, and yet it led to a lot of tension because instead of me being there for that family person and being a listener, I sort of cut them off at the knees, so to speak. I took the wind out of their sails. They really just needed to be heard. They didn't come to say, "Hey, Teresa, solve this problem for me." They were like, "Hey, here's this problem. I really just need to vent." And I didn't listen. And so it created tension because now I'm the one no one wants to come to because I was the know it all. Now, this is going back a long time, but I'm just trying to create a story scenario for everybody. And I think sometimes, controlling a friend's decision or your decision, it really creates a distance. Instead, I could focus on supporting that person rather than jumping into them and into their space. And for me, letting go, I love to manage. That's why I was a manager. That's why I was a boss. That's why I became a director. I could see organizationally how things should be. I knew what our measurements of success were to accomplish. I knew how to encourage people. I knew how to get the best out of people. And that's in a professional setting. But when your colleagues don't follow your lead, well, what happens then? So it really does. One of the things that I've been learning over the last, I'll say 10 years or so, is to listen more. And also, when someone comes to me, I now ask, well, do you need me to listen or are you looking for conversations on solutions? Because I think it's both people's responsibility. What do you want from me? Because if you just want to vomit information, okay, I'm going to put on my hat. I'm going to put on my bib. Go ahead, spew everything you need to spew and tell me what you need to tell me. If what you're hoping for is engaged conversation about how potentially to manage a situation, great. Are you looking for someone to solve that problem? And I've, recently I needed this reminding myself because I was needing to sort of dump information. And I don't know how to solve this problem. And when I did have the information on how to solve it, anxiety fulfilled my space that paralyzed me. And I wanted someone to do it for me. Now, I'm doing it. But, and some of you know I've had nothing but fakakta issues with my car. And I thought that they were resolved. And so I went to get the car inspected again after getting the emission standards. I had to drive it 100 miles and I drove it almost 200 miles just to be sure. And I get there and they're like, it's not registering that you've driven it. I'm like, well, clearly I drove it here. So they said, go try to drive it a little bit more. And not 5 bloody minutes later, and actually, I don't know if saying bloody is a good thing because in England, is that like a curse word? Sorry, guys. So 5 minutes later, my engine light came back on. I turned my ass around and went right back to the car dealer, not the did a little investigation. Computer. So, guys, I'm getting a notification that there's been some internet issues. So, please, Braze, if you don't mind, if you see I'm freezing or something, let me know. So, anyway, I am stressed up to here. I don't like cars. I didn't buy my first car until I was 40 years old because I lived in the city and was able to walk and take the bus and the subway everywhere I needed to go. Come here. And, then having a conversation about what to do, I can't afford the repairs if they're going to be big. I just can't. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Anyway, it's out of my control. What's in my control is once I have the information, I can make a decision. In the interim, I have been hugely blessed. This is the universe sort of coming around that my auntie and uncle, unfortunately, my auntie has dementia, and so she can't drive her car anymore. And she's not much of a driver. So she has a 2013 Hyundai Elantra that only has about 30,000 miles on it, and they're gifting it to me. So I had to do some legwork on what does that mean. Long story short, it's when you are engaging in conversation or you see that there's an action to be taken. I really wanted somebody else to take over and just do it. I don't have that luxury. And I can't always look to my family to do everything else for me. Funnily enough, that's an unusual thing because I'm usually balls to the walls. I will take over. I will do everything. I am woman. Hear me freaking roar. So coming back to Let Me. Thanks, Josh. I haven't gotten it yet. I will, hopefully. But I feel vulnerable since my heart event, since the heart attack, and since, having to go bankrupt and having to sell my house and having to downsize and, having the life seem to get smaller. The response is it actually got bigger, right? I'm very sad I lost my house, that, selling that house. But it also was liberating. And we're put in situations and in you respond that you don't feel like a crazed person. Oh, I'm back. Did you lose me? Can you hear me now? Sorry, guys. I don't normally have internet issues. So I'm just going to check for a second. Bank Street. Am I connected? No, I don't need my Bluetooth connected, but I am connected to my internet. Okay. I'm live. I'm alive. So I don't know where I lost you guys. I've been talking, so the replay will have it. But I was talking about using the let them theory as it is a parenting tool, right? So, and now that I'm seeing, all of a sudden the light changed a little bit and it got brighter. You know, we as loved ones, as parents, as sisters, as caregivers, we want to protect people, but sometimes they need to stumble and fall in order for them to learn the lesson. And using the let them theory allows them permission, or allows you to give them permission to make those mistakes. The let me is to be a witness and to catch them when they fall and when they come to you. But we can't fix and solve everything. Even if we had the power to, aren't we doing a disservice to the people that, we're trying to help? And I think that's part of what the let them theory is talking about. Does that make sense to everybody? And hopefully I haven't lost you. So let me just come back. Bracy says I'm clear, so that's good news. And so let me just continue here. So are there exceptions to the let them theory? Well, clearly, if someone is in a life or death situation, you're going to step in. So this isn't like carte blanche, just let those people make a mistake, or as in your job or in your familial environment or with friends. Use common sense. It's really to help you take control over one thing that you can, which is just how you respond. And I think that's what the let them theory really talks about. And one of the things, it's kind of like, and I know this happens to a lot of people, and this has happened to me more than once with friends, with family. Sometimes people, I was going to say something negative, and I don't want to really say it negatively. I'm struggling. Sometimes they're just done with me. I'm too much, especially when I was in my grief. And so they distanced themselves from me, and it hurt my feelings. But I've also done it to people where I didn't have the skill set to say, let them. So when we were engaged in, conversations and stuff, it was a little bit, rubbing knuckles, so to speak. And so if someone's stepping away from you, or you're stepping away from someone, but more importantly, if they're stepping away from you, let them. Don't push and try to make yourself part of that person's life. Partly because it's their decision about, it's how they feel about you. What you can do is take care of you right now. What do you do when that happens? How do you support yourself through that shift of someone not jiving with you? Let them go. I believe personally, and Mel really brings it out in her book, that, it just means there's new connections coming out there in the world for us. And so it's constantly rehashing in our circle. How much work do we want to put in? How much do we want to take control of our lives? And how much do we want to relinquish control? And I think it's a balancing act. I mean, there are days, I've been in my garden, and when I tell you that every muscle hurts, my hands hurt, everything. I really could use some brawn. I could use or a really strong ass woman. And that used to be me. I know I'm small, but I was mighty, and I'm still mighty-ish, but I don't have the same strength. And if you could see me lifting cinder blocks the last 2 days, you would have thought that I was, when the guys are doing the weightlifting and they're like, and they're lifting like thousands of pounds over their head. I'm lifting, I don't know, what's it, 5, 7 pounds cinder block, maybe 10 pounds. I don't know how much a cinder block weighs, but it felt like 50. And here I am grunting like, I'm carrying the world. And I thought, oh, what a difference a year makes. And then 2 years. Um, and so I'm just a little bit sore, hence my protein, yogurt, banana, peach, yogurt smoothie, because I'm like, and I've got my powders in there, and I'm like, please give me some strength. Um, because these muscles, I definitely took today off. I hurt my elbow lifting up some stuff, and I'm a righty. So I need this puppy even to drive my ridiculous excuse of a car right now. So let me just pose this, because I don't know if I lost you guys when I said, is any of this making sense? Does any of it resonate with you? Next time I will put a poll out for you guys to participate in. And in the interim, I'm just going to go back through some of my notes. So we were talking about, sorry, while you guys are deciding if you're going to respond, because I have to let you. And the poet Mary Oliver, I don't know if any of you know her, but she's worth investigating if you don't know her. Thanks, Braze. Asked this question in her poem, The Summer Day. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? I don't know what your answer to Mary Oliver's question is, but I do know this. Whatever it is that you plan to do, other people are going to have an opinion about it. And amen and hallelujah. When I studied Reiki and I went into energy healing and I went into spirituality in a different path than Catholicism, boy, oh boy, oh boy, were there opinions that were coming at me. When I did sound bowls and singing bowls, when I used the triangle, that is a beautiful resonance. When I started to do some chanting, you would have thought, and I already feel like an alien, but you would have thought I was an alien in front of the people I was sharing this information with. So in this, they talk about, and they're going to talk about it more in the following chapters, is to stop allowing other people's opinions holding you back from what you want to pursue. And that's been a hard lesson for me, because I've already felt like I was on a journey all by myself. And now I really am on this journey by myself. Guess what? I've got you. All of you on here today, anyone that watches the replay, anyone that follows me at any given time, or nobody. I'm doing this for connection, to resonate. And I get to go, Josh's channel, it's 10:30 a.m. my time, Eastern time every day. Victor on Truth Wave, he's 9:45 a.m. every day and 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. And so many other channels, right? There's so many channels I follow. But I was telling Brazy earlier, I have to also take some time off. If I followed everybody every day, I'd never get anything accomplished. And this is only the beginning of my journey. I have several things that I'm determined to pursue. I may not choose to follow through if it doesn't resonate with me, but I'm definitely working on interviewing some folks and bringing them to the channel, eventually morphing it into a real podcast. I think that putting my experiences down on paper is something, whether it gets published or just shared within the family, because we think about legacy, And I was talking to a very dear friend last night. And we were talking about, and I've mentioned this before to you guys, you know, I'm 61, so I'm still young, but the elders, I'm losing them. And I'm becoming the elder of my tribe, whatever tribe that might be. It's getting smaller and smaller. So it may be just a tribe of one. But so, in my mind, I always saw the elders in my life as full of wisdom, full of knowledge. Hey, Scotty boy, thanks for coming. Um, and so, am I full of wisdom? I mean, I know that's my channel, Wounds to Wisdom, but part of this journey is, yes, tapping into my experiences. But the let them theory is teaching me that I'm just going to share what I know, but there's no judgment or prescription that you all should follow it. And that's something that is new to me. Because again, going back to the earlier discussion, of course I know what's best. Hello? But in the end, I don't really know what's best for you. I only know what's best for me. And I think that's what this book is really teaching me. And so, one of the things that Mel says is, welcome to your biggest roadblock in life. And often our biggest roadblock is us. Isn't that funny? Scotty boy, I'm full of something. Part wisdom, part I know, Scotty. I feel the same. I'm full of it too. And if you ask my brother, I'm a PETA. Have you guys know that expression? PETA, pain in the ass. That's me. I'm a PETA. And pain in the ass came from always interjecting into someone else's situation. And I say this to a really good friend of mine from college. And I love her. And we're both Italian. We're both sort of big personalities. And we have a similar look to us. I used to call her a pain in the ass, and she's the one who said, yes, I'm a PETA, and I'm proud of it. And I'm like, you go, girl. So when we're talking on the phone, I'm like, hey, PETA, back off. And that's how I feel about me sometimes. I have to back off because I feel, we know things and we don't want the person that we love to get hurt. And it's definitely a reminder to slow down, to step back. And Bracey's like, I refuse to respond to that. You don't have to. I'm just saying, this is me. I can be a pain in the ass. Less so now because I'm learning the lesson of backing off and asking the question, am I here to listen to you? Or am I engaging in conversation with you? Do you want to tell me your story and then ask questions or ask for my advice? Or like, what do you want from me when you decide you want to have a conversation? It's different when you're just having an everyday, hey, Scotty boy, how you doing? What's going on? Versus, let me tell you, blah, 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 blah. And then all of it comes out. Is that person supposed to respond to what I'm releasing from my body and my mind and my mouth? Or do I just want them to listen? And there are days where I'm just like, I just want to cry. Just let me cry. Let me get this frustration. Let me get this fear. I'm petrified of what's happening with this damn car. How am I going to afford it? And then the let them theory, like, you don't even know yet what it's going to cost. You don't know anything. Don't project the worst. This guy that's working on the car next week, he could open up the computer and it could be a loose wire. Boom, bang, bim. I don't even know what that would cost, but it may not cost me, my retirement. So it's just a matter of back off, relax, try not to get yourself in a tizzy. But as soon as that sucker is fixed, it's going on the market and I am selling it for the amount that I owe. And that's that. And I may not even get that. I'm hoping I do, but I may not. No dull moments at family dinners. Oh, amen. Scotty, I used to have family dinners and it was never a dull moment. They are very few and far between for me since my family is not local to me. Um, and, but they were always really engaging and confrontational, um, but almost in a fun way. Um, and I think, since like 2015 and 2016, the energy within families and culture here in the US, it's been a little bit um, me against you, us against them. And I didn't get it. And I'm one of these people that I like to talk. And I want to hear your opinion. But guess what? I want you to hear mine. And that stopped. And maybe I have a fantasy snapshot of what I thought family dinners were, but I think I romanticized them into being more conversational and relational versus adversarial. Now it's like you got to come with your Uzi, put it on the table, and guns drawn, um, and I just sit there and they're like, "Well, don't you have anything to say?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have stuff to say, but y'all don't want to listen, so I'm not going to expend that energy and then get shot by all you people." So verbally, figuratively, literally. So you have to balance what's most important to you um in your relationship with other people. And so of course I took the pen out of the spot where I was um in the book. And yes, I've marked up more pages. Oh, and so part of it is, what do people think about you? And I've lived my whole life. Well, why is it that their opinion is more oh, Brazy, my family ain't no Hallmark movie either. Hallmark isn't Hallmark. Um and and yet I wanted the Hallmark movie. I wanted that everybody's going to love each other in the end. And I also think I'm going to a funeral on Saturday. One of the women senior women in we call them the menopause mamas. Um, she passed. She had no children, no more family was left. There's a few of us gals in the menopause mama group where all the theater troupe was. And so I'm baking, and some other friends are baking for her service, and someone else is handling the food because she had nothing left. And it comes down to community. And it's been getting me thinking lately, you know, I don't have that kind of well, I'll be dead, so it won't matter. But, you know, as we age, as all of us age, as all of us live the life that's true for us, people will fall away. They're not going to like it. They're not going to jive with it. They're going to think, whatever they're going to think about you. The decision comes to you. Do I let these people in my life that are going to criticize me, or do I send them with love and light and say, thank you, and keep my interactions limited or not at all? I don't really believe in full disconnection. I don't think that's the way that works for me. I do know there are families where it has to happen. Mine, lately, we have sort of a rule. There's certain things that, because we are so diametrically opposed and nobody wants to listen to the other person, they're topics, they're off topic. You cannot discuss them. And if you do, the other person has the right to hang up or walk away or whatever. And I keep that as a hard and fast rule. I don't think it's funny to make somebody else feel bad. And I've experienced that a lot in my life. I don't want to feel bad about my path. I think the beauty of dying and being reborn um, has given me permission to say, nope, that's not worth that discussion anymore. I love you. Um, Sometimes I like you, family. Um, but I'm not having this conversation because there is no winner. And you may get off on that kind of debating technique. I do not. And I never have. I don't like to be yelled at. I don't like to be condescended to. I don't like to be verbally assaulted and mistreated. Those days are long gone. Um, and as much as I like to live in the Dalai Lama spirit, I'm not opposed of giving a right hook, and I don't want to go violence either. But there are days where I'm like, I just want to do a smackdown. And then I go Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama, and try to bring it back. So Scotty Boy says, I come from a broken family. I appreciate a family that can sit together, arguments and all. Yeah, and it's few and far between. We don't, sometimes it's holidays. With my dad being sick, we don't really get together as much in that capacity because it's too much for him. And since I had to sell my house, I don't have the space to invite people to drive, many hours and spend the night and have a meal. So it's definitely, we've diverged. Let's see. Oh, we're throwing out the time here. So yes, it is 5:42 p.m. So anyway, what I love is just the conversations of this book. And the one chapter that I have to go back and read because I was falling asleep at this point. But I don't want people to think negative thoughts about me. I know what you're thinking, but I don't want to think negative thoughts. I don't want you to think negative thoughts about me. I should put my glasses on so I can see what it says. And I know you, this is Mel. I know you don't, and neither did I. But the fear of what other people may think is a major source of your self-doubt. And this is all for me. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. They're going to be mad at me. My parents won't approve. And so what she said here was, I'm not good enough. For whom? I'm not smart enough. For whom? They're going to be mad at me. Who's going to be mad? My parents don't approve. So if I do this, no one is going to like me. Who is no one? What will my friends think? Whatever they want. Does this make me look bad? To whom? Every one of these common fears is all tied to other people. That's why I'm repeating this fact over and over again. Adults will have negative opinions about you and your outfit and what you just said and what you did last week and what you want to do. Let them. Adults are allowed to think whatever they want to think. So are you. This is why the let them theory will set you free. Instead of living your life on the defense, you are going to get on the offense. You're going to play the game of life the way you want. And here's another truth. You are so much stronger than anyone's opinions about you. Stop giving your power to other people and step into your potential. Let me live my life in a way that makes me proud. Let me make decisions that align with my values. Let me take risks because I want to. Let me follow my soul path is turning towards me. Fireworks are going off. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys because we are our own worst enemy, and we create the stories and the narratives before they even occur. And so what if someone doesn't agree with what you're doing? They don't have to live your life. They're not living your story. They're not writing your story. So, that's That's kind of what I wanted to convey. Yes, boom, Scotty. And there's so many more ditties in this book. So I am going to do at least one more book club of this, probably next Thursday, which I can't believe I'm about to say is May 1st. So we're going to do one more and then move on, because there are some other books that I know I wanted to talk about. And some of you were not here the last time I asked. So please, after this chat, after we go live, put in the comment section books that you'd like to talk about. It can be anything, as long as it's not, saucy. But, if there's, like I had talked about the book Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, and how he, ultimately became Buddha. And Jonathan Bach, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, sorry, by Richard Bach. Woof. So there are a couple of just, they speak to potential growth, but there's so many magical writers out there. There's so many stories and authors. And I agree with Brazy. We could do a Zoom eat together and have a book club. 3 eggs and Spam. Oh, no. I don't know why people love Spam. I guess it's really good. I tasted it once. It didn't do anything for me. I'd rather have, chop up the meats and throw them in with the eggs. But I know it's affordable, and I have a lot of friends that eat Spam, and I have a Hawaiian friend who they make, I forget what she calls it. It's very popular in Hawaii. I can't remember the name of it, but she adores it. And when I went to visit her for my 40th birthday, and I think I've shared this story, on my 40th birthday, my very first day in Hawaii, our very first event, standing at a Buddhist ceremony, and from 20 or 30 feet above, a coconut hit me on the head and knocked me out. Boom. Oh, Scotty Boy's from Hawaii. So what is it called, Scotty Boy? It's a meal. She called it something with Spam. Oh, that's it. Yes. Musubi or musubi, I think is how you say it. She raves about it. My friend Lisa and her husband just, we didn't have it when I was there, and I don't remember why. I think we were going out a lot. I was only there for a week. But Hawaii, oh my gosh, it's on my bucket list to go back. And there's a great healing retreat that I want to go back to someday. So they loved it. She loves it. She raves about it. So 2 thumbs up for Spam and those that love it. Anyway, I hope you're finding that this book is sort of generates conversations even between you and whomever in your life. And I am putting out to you and the universe and those on replay, if this is not something that jives with you, let me know. I don't want to be hosting a book club and nobody really wants to talk about that book or a book or any book. I'm just fascinated by it, and it hit me in here because I'm been in this process of trying to find my voice, and I can't find my voice if I didn't have a flashlight shining, leading me, pointing the way. And this book really has helped me in a lot of ways. Several other ones too, most of them related to grief and healing. And I'm feeling stronger and stronger and stronger as I just accept that my grief over the loss of my mom is just indication that I loved. And I loved truly, and I loved fully, and I loved completely. And I should be so blessed in life that, that there are more of those that I know I love. And there are, Oh, thank you, Scotty boy. I'm so appreciative of you, and I'm glad to see you back in chats. I know you weren't around for a little bit, and I hope you're well, and I hope you all are well. And so, and I truly appreciate you being here. It really does jive with me. And after this, I take the dogs for a walk and we go visit my 94-year-old neighbor who, you know, struggles to find the joy in each day. And then she sees my little puppy, and he knows instinctively. Never let anyone tell you dogs don't know shit. He will get on his little hind legs and just lick her nose and lick her cheeks, and it brings her such joy. So that just shows you that all of us as humans, no matter how old and cranky, we require some kind of connection. My dog and this woman have an incredible connection. And trust me, she likes the dog more than me, and I'm okay with that. I forget, I think on Tuesday, I'm going to talk about tapping. And so some of you may already know tapping and how to tap. I'm just going to talk a little bit about it, and how it can reduce stress and anxiety. And it's part of, in my world, for Reiki. I noticed that, there's a healing thought with the repetition of an intention. And I want to promote that all of us can tap into the healing self. And what does that really look like for us? So I think that's what I'm doing on Tuesday. I'm having a brain fart at the moment. But so happy Thursday. Thank you all for being here. I may or may not be on YouTube over the next several days. But, oh yeah, thank you, Big Dad. I hope that that's somehow, if I put it out, maybe when I'm 94, someone will come knock on my door and spend a little time with me, right? So I send you all with healing, love, light, compassion, community, sprinkled with joy and laughter and a hell of a lot of giggles. Next time, guys, I bless you.
So many ways at once. As the day begun, I lived one life. As the day ended, I had begun a new, reborn with a new life, a new mission, reborn with a new vision. What may come, I don't know yet, but I am here alive, living my life to the fullest, with new love in my heart and soul, a gift to have, a gift to give, a new life of love, reborn. I'm like an ice skater dancing out for the first time on the form solid ice. No more fears, no sorrows, because I love the coming tomorrows. This life has barely begun, but now I know what I wanna do. I know what I wanna be, reborn. Finally feeling I am fulfilling my destiny, with a heart filled of gratefulness, happiness, joy, overflowing of kindness and love. Oh, so much love. is the support